Oops. Just a normal day here at Hidden Hollow. But wanted to take a few minutes today, come here to talk to you about some things that really upset me. Some upset me, some are nice, some are bad. Just mind blowing. Some of the things that you see that make you change your attitude on certain things, so to say. So let's just put it this way. Everybody on here knows, most of you know, we run a kennel out of here and we breed German Shepherds. So we had 11 puppies 8 weeks ago, a little bit over 8 weeks ago, because it was time for the puppies to finally go home. Which we never really have a problem getting rid of our puppies. Never. I will say that today it was kind of I don't know how to put it. It was kind of discerning. Basically, we had a lady 3 litters ago that wanted one of our puppies. She paid for the puppy. She was going to come get the puppy. And on the way to come get the puppy from Pennsylvania, they got into a bad car crash, and the husband was almost paralyzed. So she called up and said, look, everything going on right now, we just can't take the puppy, but so she said, just keep the money, it's not about that anymore, just whatever. So, the way we're like, well, if she ever wants a puppy later, when things get straight, we will hook her up. So then came, that was Dana Sue. We still had Dana Sue. She's a beautiful dog. Looks a lot like her mom, Bug. So we kept Dana Sue, and Dana Sue's still here. And the last litter we had, she wanted a puppy. I believe they came and got the puppy and they had to bring the puppy right back because the daughter had a bad allergy towards dogs. So we took the puppy back and we just turned around and sold the puppy. Okay, just got rid of the puppy. We still have Dana Sue. We still have the first one. She's not going nowhere. She's part of the family. So this last litter we had, there was one before that. This last one we had was with Ruger and Remington, a female. Ruger was the first son that we kept out of the first litter. So now he's got kids. So the lady was contacted. She said the daughter, a lot of the allergies where the daughter quit, it stopped. She was around dogs. She was fine. They did a test. She was fine. They wanted another dog. And since the only difference was our prices had went up a little bit, and we were offering a microchip service, that we were going to make her pay the difference. We weren't going to make her pay for the whole dog, just the difference, and for the microchip. Come get your dog. She was so happy. So happy. She'd been talking to my wife all this time about getting this done, and today, Monday, she was on her way. She was going to be here between 12 and 2, coming from Pennsylvania. So by the time we started expecting her, the wife tries to hit her up, say, hey, where you at? Just making sure she was still coming. The lady blocked her on messaging. She blocked her off her phone. She blocked her on Facebook. We've been dealing with this lady for years, about 2 years now. Last minute, while she's supposedly on her way to get this dog, she just goes blank. We haven't heard from her since. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Some people, I just don't understand. This nice lady, husband, kids, you know what I mean? We were already doing her a favor. But anyway, so the last Friday, I took off to Richmond. To go deliver a puppy. That was about a 3-hour ride for me from here in West Virginia, which I was cool with. And on the way there, on 95, there was an accident. Apparently there was an accident, and when we rolled, everybody was slow. When we finally rolled up, there was no cars around. There was like 3 state troopers on the side of the road, and there was a coroner van. And in the coroner van, right there at the edge of the van, you could see them putting a body bag inside the coroner van. There was 3 state troopers sitting around. They were just like looking at. They were just standing there looking. And they hit me. Hit me like a ton of bricks. After that bad accident I saw last month, where I had a small altercation with a state trooper that didn't like me sitting up there watching this accident up close and personal because I was on top of a cliff and I could see right down in it. And I took pictures of the crash. He came and just giving me all kinds of crap. And he says, he said he wasn't really mad. He was disappointed. He said he just didn't want the pictures to get out Didn't want the family to see what I was seeing, what he was seeing, what he sees basically every day. So maybe think twice. So Friday I started thinking to myself, I said, when you got a cop that pulls you over doing 15, 20 miles over the speed limit, or when you're at your little race car doing 100 miles over the speed limit, and everybody gets all mad, like, don't you guys have nothing better to do, and you need to be out there catching real criminals? Do you ever think that maybe they're just tired of pulling you guys out of your cars, try to picking you up off the streets from being wrapped around telephone poles and off in median strips somewhere on the highway at high rates of speed, and this death and destruction that they see on a daily basis? If you really think about people, you think somebody died in a car crash, you think, oh, he crashed his car and he's dead in the car. Most times, these people are mangled. Most times, these guys are so beat up in these cars that you don't even want to look at this crap. You know what I mean? So it made me see things in a whole nother light. It did. I changed my thinking on state troopers and police in general. I mean, I know there's a lot of bad cops out there. I know there's a lot of good cops out there. Like where I live in West Virginia, they don't really bother us here. They don't. It's very rare you see anybody running radar. We don't have red light cams. We don't have speed cams. We don't have none of that shit. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, most times you're good, which is good. Even though I've slowed down a whole lot, I don't drive like I did back in the day. Just wanted to say that. But anyway, after that, Saturday morning I had to get up and go to New Jersey, right up next to Trenton, and I drove all the way out there. I went through Virginia, Maryland, went all through Maryland, and then went into New Jersey, and I was kind of funny about New Jersey just for the fact that most of the areas in Jersey to me look like half the people picked up and moved away. It's not an attractive city from what I see. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some nice areas out there. Where I went through, I was not impressed. You'd have like a nice house and a bad looking house, and a kind of nice looking house and a terrible looking house, all on the same street, all down the line, and it was just really, it was just nothing to me. It was just not attractive. I'm sure, like I said, there's other places that aren't so bad, and okay. So after that, I was supposed to go to Buffalo, New York. I had another puppy. I had two puppies with me. One going to Trenton, one going to Buffalo. So when I looked at the MapQuest and everything, it was like 7 hours and something to go to upstate New York. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm thinking, well, upstate New York is not so bad. I didn't realize what Buffalo was like. Anyway, so I get on the road and I'm riding, and I'm riding. I think it was the Delaware River was beside me. I was going all through Trenton, and I went all through there, and I rode it for miles, and I crossed over into I believe it was Pennsylvania. I can't remember. I'm terrible at this stuff, but it was beautiful. I rode alongside the river, all down through the valleys. Beautiful, beautiful. I called the wife. I said, I really wish you were here. You see what I'm seeing. It's gorgeous out here. So I drove, and next thing I knew, I was back into Pennsylvania. Took me back in Pennsylvania. I know because it said you're back in Pennsylvania. So I want to say I must have been in New York for a little while there, but I don't know. But anyway, so I'm driving. It's getting late. I told the wife, I said, I'm not going to get up there till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. The lady said, it's okay. I'll wait for you. So I was going to say, look, I'm going to take a nap, and I'll see you in the morning. But she was like, no, it's okay. You can come that late. So I did. I was driving into Buffalo, and it was a nice area. It was a nice area for a little while, like suburbs, nice stores, nice neighborhoods and everything, nice roads. I'm like, hey, this is going to be really nice. It's going to be really nice to ride. Got down the road a little bit, and I'm driving a car with Pennsylvania tags, a little Ford Fiesta. So I know it's not like what I usually drive, but this is our economical car. It's our trip car, and I passed a sheriff that was sitting there. You know how they set off to the side of the road, and he watched me coming down the intersection, and about the time I got to the intersection, the light turned yellow, and I kept going because I would have had to lock up the brakes to stop. But the thing was, like, he didn't move. I didn't run a red light. The light wasn't even red. It was just turned yellow as I was going through. And I was watching him in a rearview mirror. He never came after me. I got down the road about a mile or two, and somebody come up on me pretty quick on the right hand side, and guess who it was? It was him. So he comes down beside me, he gets in front of me, and he jumps in the left hand turn lane like he's going to turn. And as soon as I passed him, guess what? He jumped right back behind me, right up on my bumper, and I mean right up on my bumper. And it just happened to be going through a little town. It went from 45 to 30 like that, and I'm like, phew, trying to slow down. Now, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I didn't have nothing. I would say I didn't have nothing illegal in the vehicle, but I did have a handgun. I had a handgun in the door panel because I'm going to places today that I never knew existed. So I'm going in. So he followed me for a little while through this little town, through the town, and I mean right up on my bumper. So I know he's running me. I'm doing 30. I'm doing right, and we got to a place where it went from 2 lanes to it split open to where you could make a turn and stuff, and he was gone. So good. So I'm good now, right? I think I'm good. So I continue on into Buffalo. I get down the road, things start getting bad. There's big warehouses and there's a railroad yard over here. And plus, let me tell you, it's 12:30 at night. And I'm riding in this neighborhood, riding down through one of the main drags through there. And I'm following my map on my phone, following it. The next thing I knew, there's all kinds of people hanging out on the streets, in the streets, all kinds of stuff going on. And I'm like, I feel like I'm in a bad spot. I'm an old white guy. Truth be told, I feel like I'm in a bad spot. So, as I come down, I finally hit the road I need to get on. I make the right. As soon as I do, 2 cars come flying up behind me. And this is, barely enough room for 2 people to pass on this road. One of the neighborhood side streets. 2 cars come flying beside me and pass me on this little side street. And I know, there's something happened. If you ever had every hair on your body stand up and you get that feeling like something's about to go down. Something's about to go down. And I'm not telling you anything but the truth right now. I was a little worried. Maybe a little more than just worried. I was a little shaken. So I know my gun's there, but at the same time, I'm not going to pull it up, put it in my lap. Nothing has happened yet. So I get to where I'm supposed to be going. My phone's saying, "You're reach your destination." And I'm looking around like, oh my God, I'm not getting out of the car here. I'm just not. Called the wife. I told her what was going on. She called the lady. We got on 3-way phone. Turned out I was a mile the wrong way. Well, I was on the right road, but I had to go a mile down that road. My map was telling me I was here. Got on the road, followed it down, got to where I was supposed to be going, met the lady, gave her the dog, gave her the dog's belongings, and got the heck out of Dodge. So now it's 1:30 in the morning, and I had decided that I'm going to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, because there's something I saw on YouTube and I had to see it for myself. So I'm tired. I've been up all day. It's late at night, early in the morning. The back roads to even get to Buffalo were nothing but wide open back roads, fields and farms on both sides, deer crossings everywhere, signs, dead deer. It was so bad sometimes there was so many dead deer that you could just smell the blood in the air. And I'm on edge because I'm half asleep. I'm on edge because I just know from living in West Virginia, they're just going to pop out in front of me at any time. But they didn't. I did see one on the way out of there from a distance go across from one cornfield into another. But I got down the road and I got near the highway I was supposed to get on. I'm like, look, I need a nap. Here it is. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I pulled into a Valero gas station that was closed. Pulled all the way over to the edge. And it was out in the middle of nowhere, like I said. And right down the street was a New York State Police building, which I turned around in. I was almost going to sleep there. But I was like, I don't want to be harassed, even though I'm not doing anything wrong. Let's just go down here and sleep. So I did. I dozed on and off all night till about 7 o'clock in the morning when I opened my eyes. And I got in, I was already in the car, but I got the seat up and woke up and even Valero was still closed. I was like, all right, one thing I need to do, because the sun was just starting to come up, is I need some coffee. Now, I'm surrounded by mountains. I was glad that I spent the night out there because I could drive back to where I was going through the mountains where I could see what was going on instead of being in the pure dark. So I'm heading out, going down the road, and I hit a Pilot gas station. I went in there, got me a cup of coffee, and I must have stood up and just, played on my phone a little bit, took a break, stretched my bones because I'm old, 57, everything hurts, and drank some coffee. After that, I said, okay, I'm good. We're going to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, because I've got to see Kensington Avenue, if that's what it's called. It's called Kensington. If you've ever seen any of the videos on YouTube about Kensington, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm going. I've been saying for a while I wanted to go there. I wanted to make sure this was true because the videos that I see are just like devastating. And this is the only time for a long time am I going to be anywhere near that. So I did. So I was going through the mountains. Beautiful mountains. Gorgeous. I want to go back in the fall when the leaves start changing because it's just beautiful. Beautiful. I loved it. All down through the mountains, all down and down and down and down and down and down. You'd be driving down, you'd have mountains on both sides, mountains in front of you. The road would be going down, and it was the way it went down the hills. It just looked like you were going to ride into a mountain. Beautiful lakes and streams on the sides, and with the sun coming up as well, beautiful. It made you glad to be alive. From everything that you see on TV and on the line anymore these days, they make you think doom and gloom all the time. God's country is amazing. It's amazing. It was the highlight of my trip. So then I started getting closer and closer to Pennsylvania, after going through a bunch of old little towns, all through the valleys, all through the hills, beautiful farmlands, all kinds of beautiful places in Pennsylvania. I finally get on the right highway, and they start taking me into Philadelphia. Things got bad. You talk about cars, you talk about people, you talk about hectic. It was off the hook just trying to get into Philadelphia. And then, not only that, but my gas gauge was getting low, and I'm like, before I get down in Philadelphia, I want to find some gas, but there was nowhere to get off. There was really nowhere to get off of this beltway. And I said, okay, I know I have enough to at least get into Philadelphia. So after almost being run over by multiple people driving this little car, I'm not used to driving little stuff. You see my trucks. Just driving. I get into Philadelphia, I'm looking for a gas station, and my MapQuest was messing up, and it kept taking me around. I couldn't really read what it was saying, but I did find a gas station for $4.35 a gallon. When I got there was two guys in two different cars. There was like 8 pumps, and only one of them worked. So these guys, one had showed up after I'd showed up, and the other guy, they were giving gang signs and stuff, and I was just sitting there like, okay, hopefully I'm still in the city. I'm not in the city. I'm in the outskirts, but I didn't know if he was going to try to take my spot, but I was already there, so he couldn't really get it. It was a small parking lot, so I got my gas. Got out of there, got out on the road, and a dude almost run me over with his wheelchair. He was just stopping traffic in the middle of the intersections on the wheelchair begging for money, and I didn't have no cash on me. I usually use a card, the safest thing to do. So then after that, I started trying to pull up this little area on my phone, and every time I hit directions, it wouldn't do nothing. Finally, I had to pull over, mess with my phone for a little while, and I was able to pull it up. It told me how to get there, and I went. I got some videos of this, but it seemed like as soon as I started taking videos, my phone said it's too hot, and I couldn't video anymore. Weird how first it wouldn't let me get in there by acting up. And after that, when I started taking videos of it, my phone stopped. It started saying it was overheating and it wasn't letting me take videos. I don't know what to say. Everything that I've seen on the videos was true. It was as bad as you see on the videos, but the smell was something that you couldn't get away from. When you hit that area, the stench was unbelievable. The people, if you ever thought you were having a bad day, you go down there and you'll feel like the king of Egypt, if there's such a thing. The people, the place was one of a kind. I said it was like a third world country. I don't know. I've never been to a third world country. But there was people shooting up on the streets. There was girls that were getting all dressed up. They were hooking. I know they were hooking, And they all had them scabs on their faces, and a lot of them were just digging in trash bags, and there was just groups of them. There was everywhere. And then on the outskirts, when I drove down to the outskirts, There was people just riding dirt bikes up and down through the city, mini bikes. People were driving like nuts. Nobody really obeyed the traffic laws. And I came through one time, and right there in the middle of all this was 3 cops just standing there like, la, la, la. And I'm telling you, right across the street, I watched them shoot up. I was watching them pull out needles. I was watching them roll up blunts. I stopped and sit there and watched for a little bit because I'm very curious about stuff. You know, and I'm not here to put nobody down. I'm just telling you what I saw. It was terrible. It was terrible. I rode around a few times, tried to get some video. I really just wanted to see it for myself. I had to get in my head. A video is not going to do it justice. It's not. Because I didn't want to be rolling up on these people like, hey, look, I'm videotaping you. So I didn't do that. I was trying to be nonchalant. I've seen some things, and they really hurt my heart. So it made me come away with, you know, certain ideas. It made me think of things a little bit differently now, you know. After the death incidents with the state troopers, I look at cops a little bit different. They're just like one pulled my wife over one time. He said, "Look, I know you're a cute woman. You got a nice car, fast car." He said, "I don't want to have to pull you out of the ditch down there and inside of, you know, after you hit a tree or something. Just be careful out there." And now I understand what they go through. They have demons of their own that they deal with every day. Can you imagine the things that they see? The things that they deal with? Can you imagine what it'd be like pulling a burning person out of a car? Besides people that are all just mangled up after getting run over by a tractor trailer. I know, I'm getting a little morbid here, but this is the stuff that goes on out there. And then to see the beauty of God's work. For a long time, hours I spent going through the countryside. And then to go into Philadelphia and realize I've got it good. You all probably do too. I don't think anyone here has got it that bad. Telling the wife it'd be nice, you know, like Canada, they had internment camps where they were taking people that had COVID, where they thought they had COVID, and they were putting them in camps, and they were keeping them there until they could prove, you know, by tests and stuff that they didn't have COVID, or they were over COVID before they would let them go back. I said, you know, they just need to pull some buses up there. They need to take these people, throw them in these buses, whether they like it or not, and take them to a camp. Take them to a camp. I know it's a violation of their rights, but it's the best thing for them. There's many of them that are so far gone, there's no coming back. I've seen some stuff. If you ever get a chance, go look those videos up on YouTube. Kensington, Philadelphia. And your perspective will change. And I'm here to tell you, it's true because I've seen it. So I slept in this morning because I only had a couple hours sleep the night before. I hardly ate anything on this trip. It was good to come home, see the wife. My son was down. It was good to see him. And see my dogs, my pigeons, my chickens. You know, you take a trip and go look at a few different things. Don't just go to oh, it's so beautiful here. Go look at the bad stuff. Go look at the less fortunate. You know, it was like just a couple blocks from all the stuff that was going on in Kensington. Life was back to normal. When I drove into Philadelphia, it was beautiful. People everywhere dressed nice, you know, enjoying the weather, all the tourist stuff that was going on. When 15 minutes down the road, these people, besides not knowing where the next meal was coming from, I don't think they even cared about food. They were in other things. They make you think about life. I know, this is me. There was pigeons in the video, so there's still a pigeon video. And they're all back in the loft now. But I just wanted to do this video and tell you guys what I saw. And I wonder what you think. Y'all have a great day.